It is my pleasure at this time to install Dr. Gregory LaMorte as president of this association. Greg?
What should I do? Ask the speaker, he knows everything.
Yes.
You're okay.
He doesn't like me to be
Greg, you are the leader, the #1 member of the New Jersey Dental Association in the eyes of the community and the membership. I doubt if anyone could ever adequately explain the many responsibilities and duties which you will be called upon to perform during the coming year. During your tenure as president, you must guide the association as well as lead, always remembering that true leadership is not only setting the highest example of ethical conduct, but in allowing others to show their talents. As president, you will have the golden opportunity of serving your fellow members and enjoying the rewards of such service. However, this privilege carries with it an awesome responsibility, and that is, as the spokesman for dentistry and the New Jersey Dental Association, hence your tenure, you will no longer speak as Gregory L. LaMorte, private citizen, but as Gregory LaMorte, president of the New Jersey Dental Association. Dr. LaMorte, in accordance with the provisions of the bylaws, I declare you president of the New Jersey Dental Association for the year 2015-2016, effective with the adjournment of this meeting. Walter has allowed me the privilege of just saying a few words. It's customary to do this at the induction. So there are really just 3 points that I'd like to make. And the first and foremost is Walter alluded, Greg and I have been friends and working in the trenches here with the rest of you at committees and councils for the last 20 years. So it's very emotional for me, and I wanted to publicly thank him for this honor today to induct him as our new president. The second thing is I'd also like to thank the House of Delegates, because I know the difficulty in selecting people and electing people, but I think it's, at this point in my career, I would also like to thank each and every one of you that's been a part of the process and allowed Gregory to get to this position, and subsequent people. I appreciate your commitment, your volunteering, and your support as a past president, and I hope you'll continue as I have with the passion and enthusiasm. And Walter, I know it may be inappropriate because he's not officially president, but I would like to be the first one to say to Dr. LaMorte officially, Gregory L. LaMorte, Mr. President, President of the New Jersey Dental Association 2015-2016, if you permit me that privilege. And I'd also like to say hello to our First Lady, Patricia LaMorte, who's in the audience and is also a good friend. And with that, I'd like to wish Greg, Pat, and the New Jersey Dental Association a successful and prosperous year. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Brian Rauschung to come back up to the podium. It is my distinct pleasure to present you with this past president's ribbon, past president's pin. You took the other one off already? Well, that's the one you never forget. Can't put it above the flag. You gotta put it and we also have a plaque for you. And this, as is customary, I'm just going to read what the plaque says. It says, Brian E. Rauschung, DMD, for distinguished service as president of the New Jersey Dental Association, 2014-2015. Job well done.
Thank you. I think I have something to say here. The script is gone, but my last official function is to present to your new president, Greg LaMorte, the gavel that you'll be able to wield and lead the Board of Trustees. Greg, congratulations.
Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to present to the House the President of the New Jersey Dental Association, Dr. Gregory LaMorte.
I want to thank Bob Shakitka, because Bob Shakitka, believe it or not, it's easy. It's the reason I say believe it or not is because he's not that much older than me, but he was the one that got me involved in organized dentistry and really got me started and practiced. Because I answered an ad for I started my practice from nothing, and which was a little unusual, but if you know me well, you know that I'm a little unusual. And Bob actually subleased his office to me in South Orange, and the rest, as they say in history, is history. And he's given me a lot of good advice, especially for this job. And he said you have to dress for the job you want, not the job you had. So I left my pajamas at home, and as I told one of my assistants, Lemoy, Susanna, and Hannah, I decided to wear a suit today. There's too many things. I want to thank you all for being here. I'm usually not a loss for words. In fact, my partner Carol Mann said, "Aren't you going to speak extemporaneously?" And I told her for some reason I didn't think I was going to be able to, and I'm usually pretty good at that. But in spite of all of this and having done everything that we've done to get here, I was still a little nervous. And I think it's because it's such a distinguished group. So there's too many of you to mention, and I know for some of you it's inconvenient to be here, especially family and friends. So to you, I want to give a special thank you. And I'm truly grateful for your support. And I like quotations. One of the ones I like, if you keep doing what you're doing, you keep getting what you're getting. Or even better, as Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So what could we do to get different results? Well, with the Board of Trustees' support, I plan to appoint an ad hoc committee of past presidents to study changes to our bylaws as the ADA is currently doing. One intent is to adopt term limits. It's time to consider term limits for all positions within NJDA and its components, creating opportunities for younger members to step forward and lead, and use some of our older members as mentors to prepare them for the task. I'd also like to create a group of younger people. Participation would be open not just to component leaders, but also to members interested in greater involvement. We could coach them in conducting meetings, have them serve as ambassadors between the leadership and the councils, and instruct them in the use of technology, generational differences, structure and function of NJDA. We would have current office holders mentor them, as I already mentioned. We need to better prepare our future leaders. We need experienced leaders. They should have institutional memory and NJDA experience, leaders who have served on councils or committees, and our board should be filled with such leaders. They need to be knowledgeable about the structure of the New Jersey Dental Association. The time to learn is prior to assuming a leadership position. Reverend Joel Hawes, the 10th pastor of the First Church of Hartford, Connecticut, said, "Aim at the sun, and you may not reach it, but your arrow will fly far higher than if you aimed at an object on level with yourself." And we need to use available technology. We need to continue with email, but we need to have more virtual meetings via phone and via web using software such as Adobe Connect and GoToMeeting. We need to be considerate of the time our members have to share with us. Our younger members expect it, and our older members, like myself, should grow to appreciate it. What's wrong with sitting in front of your computer at home in your pajamas while you're in a meeting? If we continue on the current path, we may improve, but we're not necessarily moving forward. We need to simply stop, identify what's accessible, plot a more open-minded course to improve our situation. But I know change is hard. But Kathleen Norris, the poet, said, "Avoiding change does not recapture the past, it loses the future." We should consider expanding the Committee on Finance and Investment to include council chairs. We need input from more leaders. We've begun very important work on our budget, membership, and our annual meeting. We need a give and take to help them understand the hard budgetary decisions we have had to make and why we felt compelled to make them. Everyone needs to know our assets and liabilities and help us set our goals. We must have councils, committee members, trustees, and all our leaders bring information from One Dental Plaza to their newsletter editors, their component boards, and their members, our members. Many of you do just that, but we need 100% buy-in. Andy Warhol said, "They always say times changes things, but actually, you have to change them yourself." Did you know that twice there was a committee to study the structure of New Jersey Dental Association? One question they asked was, should components consolidate? Well, our structure stayed the same. Change is hard. King Whitney Jr. said, "Change has a considerable psychological impact on the human mind. To the fearful, it's threatening because it means things may get worse. To the hopeful, it's encouraging because things may get better. And to the confident, it's inspiring because the challenge exists to make things better." And that's what we need to do. Membership in NJDA is valuable, but we need to create more value exclusive to our members, such as discounts for materials and services. We each need to encourage membership to our colleagues and urge each of our members to support businesses that support us. Did you know that Professor Irwin Corey, the comedian, said, "If we don't change directions, we'll end up where we're going"? My final thought for today, and here it says stop and wait for applause because it's the final thought. But we're going to skip over that. I'd like to invite, and this is serious though, I would like to invite members of other dental organizations to observe our meetings. I want to strengthen our bonds, invite them to join us and participate with us. I want them to see how we work to support all dentists in New Jersey. We need unity and we need to foster diversity. And this is really from the heart. On a personal note, I want to say that I'm incredibly proud of all the dentists assembled here, every one of you, especially the members of the House of Delegates. You're the caretakers of our organization. One of the things that you do when you're the president and the president-elect is you visit every component. And when I was there, for those of you that don't know, that Brian's a West Point graduate, so I had my orders. And my orders were to talk about the value of membership, and I tried to do that. But I just want to thank you all for your membership, and that was one of the things that I always did. If you were at your component meetings, you know that I tried to thank you then. But I thank you all here for your membership, leadership, and your extraordinary participation. And I'd like to quote William Safire, a famous speechwriter. William Safire was asked, "Is sloppiness in speech caused by ignorance or apathy?" And his answer was, "I don't know and I don't care." And finally, a quote heard often by my son David. David's here today with us, our daughter-in-law Lauren, and our granddaughters, who you heard me say hello to already, Rose and Frida, and my wife Pat. And David knows, he who fails to plan, plans to fail. And also, Proverbs 15:22 says, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed." I hope you'll all offer that counsel and leadership. Thank you for your attention, and thank you again for all coming today to our meeting. I'm honored to serve you all, the leaders, the staff, and all member dentists. Together, we are the New Jersey Dental Association. Thank you for your attention.
I've heard many times that giving that speech is one of the toughest things someone has to do. Thank you for your great presentation. We'll work hard together during your year, try to accomplish many good things.